Great. Now we have one last thing in the agenda. So that brings us to the conclusions and the outlook. So we have a key open discussion. Any comments right away or issues that we would like to cover? Okay, great.
Well, conclusion is that we are targeting something that is quite critical here, and we are, most of us are from the same sector, that we know that this will come sooner or later. The demand of technologies, environmentally friendly, low impact, better analysis of data, but it's very difficult to reach the whole of the community in a positive way, even though I know we make our best efforts to it and we have the best intentions to it, but especially nowadays, even in the universities, in the new professionals that will take our places, they are not really interested in the mining sector or mining development, right? So that's also another worrying issue, that even though that these amazing technologies will be active quite soon, there's another concern that the gap, even nowadays, to fill the gap for required professionals in the mining industries is quite relevant. And it's because also of this negative image the mining has. Yeah, that's just one comment I wanted to say. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for this comment. Any additional comments or questions? I have one based on, Marius, your input. So how the vision of Mine.io and, let's say, Dynamite can be, let's say, translated to the market pool. Is there any way that we can move forward to, of course, our projects have not developed the technologies in a TRL 9, so ready for the market. But is there a way to go forward with maybe small steps, maybe additional projects, or maybe a big step to move forward to commercialization and basically moving the ideas from still quite advanced dashboards or quite advanced products exactly to the market, because the market pool is here. Jan, maybe your comment starting.
Okay, maybe I can start. As I see it, is very challenging this taking it to the market from the research part, and then you go to innovation, and then you go to the market. And the step from the innovation to the market is a huge step. It's quite time consuming and costs a lot of money. But I guess it will be necessary for the companies that want to take something to the market, and they are more persuaded, they are more into this compared to a research institute, for instance. They don't have this incitament for doing that. So, but I think it's very important to have a company where there are people at the company that really wants to have this on the market. That will give the boost forward. And I guess there will be bilateral agreements between companies. Maybe the SMEs don't have the power or the resources to go to the market. Then you need a collaboration among different partners and so on. I believe that is the key.
So looking at our Dynamine and Mine.io projects, both of them have live mines on board, and those probably should be the pool of those technologies and the adaptation. But any additional help from that might close the gap? Ayman, maybe your comment right away.
Yes. indeed, it is not easy to get into the market right after the end of the project, also because of a technical aspect. We do not have the technologies fully developed to get into the market. The TRL is not there yet. Reason why even the EU Commission knows this. That's why they give 4 years of time for the full exploitation of the results, rather than straightforward after the project end. What can we do in order to facilitate this gap between innovation and marketization? Partnerships are key, in my opinion, whether with market operators and value chain actors that have been identified throughout the project's life, but also in terms of dissemination and communication is absolutely key. Site visits for the industries, for the universities at the sites that you have been working on, that we have been working on. We have also seen that there's, you said mining is not sexy, right? Also at university courses, and young people are not very much attracted from these kind of courses. So also trying to engage with universities to enhance the attractiveness of the industry is definitely important.
Well, in that sense, I want to react right away because I think there's something that we are. I don't want to applaud us much because we like that, of course. But I think 𝗏 and Dynamine are playing a specifically very good role because young people want to make part of the transition in energy and all the values we have, but also they are very strong in technology. So the more we bring this element, the more it facilitates the idea for them to have excitement in this field, and that's what we are doing. So I will say, yes, we are in difficult transition, but I think 𝗏 and Dynamine in these initiatives are doing the right step, and we should be driving this on because we are the ambassadors of what we've done here. No? I would say.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. Right away, I will give the microphone with the question to Max because he is representative of the technical university. So he has the hard work to make mining sexy, and the thing to get more students on board. And how is it done from the 𝗏𝗏?
Yes, thank you for the good question. Getting new students is always hard for us because we had a lot of students in the past. For 20 years ago, we had like 20, 30 students in mining every year. And now we have around about 5 to 10 per year. So it's very less students currently. And of course, we are trying to go to the schools and showcase what mining does, because anything what is not grown, it has to be mined. And if you do not mine anything, if you do not mine metals and something else, you have no phone, you have no cars. And so the mining is the first step of every industry. And this is what, especially in Germany, the people have to understand. But most of the people think this comes in the market and nobody know how to come where it comes from. And this is the part what we want to produce, what we bring to the schools, what we bring in the society to understand what does mining do and why we need mining. And hopefully it works, and we see that the students increasing a little bit. It's stay on a very low decrease, but it increases slowly. This is what we are doing.
Thank you. My next comment will be one of the last slides that Ayman showed, and also this whole package that we have presented. So the social acceptance. And maybe I will move to Isabella to have a short comment on the social acceptance, how it goes with the mining.
Okay. It was quite an interesting work, the one that we did with the 𝗏𝗏𝗀, and mostly because of the methodology in our case. So the real goal was to understand how this transformation, what does it mean to people, and this is something that is quite new. Okay, we have a lot of innovations from the technical point of view. But in our case, it was an innovation from the methodological, mainly, point of view, because it doesn't exist a real path for measuring social aspects, because social aspects are social. Okay, so every context is different, every person is different, and there are different, maybe the same problem is a problem for a group of people and a benefit for other people. So our challenge was this one, so to understand in this big context how to focus on something that is a little bit more concrete. So actually the result was not really our goal, it was more how to assess the potential risks and benefits. And from this experience, I think that it was quite we achieved a good result, I can say, because we developed a framework that, that at the end makes sense. So it's something that can be applied to a real case study. We applied it to Lavrion. Okay, there were some, it was more a simulation, but finally a context-based simulation, a quite real simulation. And I think this is our first, the main contribution that we have given to this project. More than saying, okay, transformation is always a benefit for people or it's not a benefit. It's more the way to assess, to prevent future risks. This is, I think, what we give to Europe and to future mining. A way to understand before that the risk will happen. So, yeah, my point of view is this one.
Okay, thank you. So the brief takeaway is that basically the progress is gradual and there's no way of shortcut or leap forward. Paul, a comment from you. I have seen your raised hand.
Thank you. I just want to follow up. I think the point of view how to get more students into mining and metallurgy, this is quite important, and I think you have to start very early in preschool already, and to give the values you inherit or you want to inherit as soon as possible to the youth, so they know, okay, the key importance of us and our doings and findings. And in Freiberg we do this, Professor Reich has a comic book for pre-children's drawn. He's a retired professor for deep drilling, so petrol and gas and heat, but still it's the same idea. And he goes like in also his orange mining suit to the schools or preschools and gets free copies of the book and gets some hands-on to the children. This is very nice, and I think this is how it should be supported, like having the possibility to go to schools, to have a good program. It doesn't need to be huge, but it needs to be like go every year there and there. I think this is important, and it needs to perspective from an industry and from a working place to the young people who needs to decide, okay, what do I want to study? What is important to me? What is important for life and for society? Do I maybe want to support local mining, local metallurgy? But I think this needs just also local perspective, because quite a lot of people wants to stay near their families. Not all wants to go abroad, and without having perspective of new mines, of new factories, this is very, very hard to go to young people and convince them, okay, study metallurgy, study mining. Yeah, it is just my 2 cents, I think, on the topic. And to follow up on the previous one, I think we are in a special case. We have a pilot plant which we retrofit and put on new advanced sensors and having a new SPS and digital twin and everything. And we have from time to time industry customers who comes to us. They want to take a look into a process. They want to adapt something, want to test something upfront before they move to the big plants. And then this is very of high value to have a system to provide the data, to provide a very time-aligned data, and when they see the system, I think this is the best way to monetize, or let's say to advertise our findings, our doings, to have pilots which are regularly working on real-world problems and solutions with the industry. And I think that's the best way to get into the whole system, to get our findings into the economic. Thank you.
Okay. My immediate comment on that will be, so there are 2 points. First one is the education, and we have seen that basically the STEM studies have been, let's say, brought back to the market, that math is not hurting, physics is not hurting, and so on and so on. So, and this idea of preschool and the idea of starting soon, I like it a lot. But it's a hard way forward because, you know, if you start at preschool, you got still a pupil or a kid that needs 20 years. And within 20 years, we will have AI, what I don't know, 2.0 or whatever. When it comes to the other comment, application, for sure, SMEs and application-driven, like technical universities or any research organization that have the site and the possibility to have an early demonstrator, for sure it helps from my perspective and basically showcases that the technology is mature enough to invest still a hefty amount of money to get it running in the real life. Okay, any additional comments? Or questions? Yeah.
Hello. I want to raise a question about how mature is the readiness of the European mining industry to adapt with these innovations. Is it a conservative, generally, industry? It is ready to adapt innovations, or we have also to work on that? I don't know who is representing the industry.
Lucky enough, we've got one partner here on board that is representing a life and living mine. Out of Poland, Wojtek.
Yes, the one problem from the industrial point of view is that we are always open for innovation. But the tendency of the innovation is that it takes time, and production is now and here. So this is always the problem that we face on the level of innovation and production. You cannot you cannot work on the innovation directly in the production because it's risky, and we play with human life. So this is a very tricky combination. We can be open. We, for example, as a mining company, we are in many projects like this, where we support the SMEs, we support innovation providers, but we cannot take a full responsibility for example, providing the innovation to the market, because we will always look for the proven technologies at the end to implement in the production. We need a technology provider to take the responsibility for providing certifications. For example, in Poland, there is a strong requirement of the level of mining office. that you need to have a certain certification that solutions can be implemented in the mining operation. So it's a big responsibility on the technology providers that is responsible for providing the innovation. And the second aspect I would like, it's always that mining is, especially in underground mining, sometimes the best solutions are simple solutions. So many of sophisticated technologies are not suitable for mining because we prefer very simple and cheap technologies, but many sensors, like very sophisticated technologies, will be failing because we cannot use them in harsh conditions of underground mining. So I know this is very tricky to find the proper innovation that will help the production, implement it, and make sure that it works in the mining sector.
Okay, thank you for the comment. For sure, the maturity of the innovation and can it be brought to the market. When it comes to sensors, the prices and other stuff, it's very depending on the technology, and the prices depend on how much the end user would like to pay. Yeah, so there's somewhere middle ground of the early developer and end user. More comments or questions?
Wojtek described the situation very well. And I think that universities and research institutes can give the innovation to mine, but we need a very well educated people, students, because they should have the knowledge of the high mathematics, physics, and also informatics to apply, for example, machine learning procedures, artificial intelligence procedures, and so on. So this is a very complicated process, and we should start from good education. Next, to give the maturity to innovation, and then to apply this to factories. And this is possible to mineral processing plant to apply very sophisticated systems, but it has be on the high level of maturity. This means that we should receive money for prepare the efficient maturity level for our innovations. It means that such project, like for example MineAO, is very well oriented for connection between research area and between the factories.
Okay, thank you for the comment. Sergio, back to you.
Thank you. Coming back to what you say about the implementation of the innovation, my feeling and my experience, or considering where I work, in the field I work, I see a lot of potential, and I think this is the way by business cases that are fundamentally really showing a really improvement in what we're doing. For example, I see a lot of potential when I see Tecnalia's work in our session, in how they have really proven that with their software they can really optimize the production itself, and then this is a matter that goes directly to the pocket, to the money. And when I see what 𝗙𝗏 has done with the autonomous, and what I do with the electrification, I see a business case there behind, where we're saying the autonomous is taking some risk and people are out of a thing that's not needed to have. So this is money behind. And the electrification is giving you the possibility to, in the map that Tecnalia is doing, there are vehicles that are out of the field because they are charging or they are in repair. At least I can tell you, the electrification we are doing is going to allow that the vehicles are always in their line, in line in the production, and at least on the system, because there's no wear and tear, then we have a solution through this new technology, innovative technology, to avoid wear and tear. And we have the assessment where we can show that the maintenance of the wireless is almost zero. In the case of course, the rough stuff of the rough environment of the mines still have some gaps, and I think the situation in the mines is that the floor is not always what I expect in my normal market, but I think this is the path anyhow. There's a strong way to go there, and I think this is where we also need to be strong, or this is where I try to work more now.
Short comment. Within 𝗏, we also worked on the predictive maintenance. Yeah, so this is the point. But basically, you are feeding the data, and data is being analyzed, and this helps you to shorten the downtime. Yeah, business case, pure money. Okay. Any additional comments, questions, or issues that's supposed to be brought to table?
Yeah, shortly, now that you mentioned about money, from SME points of view, we struggle with funding and trying to go to the next stage of commercialization, as you know, elevate our TRL and so and so. And also, somebody said that the mining industry is, what it works, and there's not much need to change it. So that's where to bridge. I mean, if it's possible for a new technology like what has been showcased in our project, to translate it to, if you implement this, at year 5, your profit will be this margin, right? Rather than you continue using this old technology. So at the end, it has a commercial and economic impact, right? But it's difficult to translate, especially to SMEs without much pilots, right? So it's very difficult to model this in an, but yeah, I think that's like a gap that can bridge both worlds. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Raul.
Thank you. I could also comment on that. I think I've been part of several studies, mining studies, like feasibility studies. And when I look these sort of projects, and I'm part of that now, I think the best part where we can try to leverage what we produce is during these feasibility studies, because that's the stage in which those projects screen everything what's available in the market. And for these technologies to be taken on, they need to have this maturity. So what we have done here, I think is right. We have produced a lot of amazing technologies. The TRL, probably they're not ready yet for the markets, for the companies to take on, because at the end, what the feasibility study is to de-risk every one of those projects. They're not going to take something that is not proven yet or marketable, but also those studies, they demonstrate one important thing, the financial metrics that the project will be profitable, right? At the end, mining is a linear business. Although there is some intent to make circularity there, but it's a linear business. And what they need to demonstrate is productivity, revenues, or optimize and reduce the cost. That really brings any technology, at least to the eyes of the investors and to the companies.
Thank you, Raul. Any additional comments, questions? Seems not to be the case, so I will give the floor back to Jan Niemi to close this.
Okay, I want to close this workshop. And thank you all for participating in this workshop. It has been a pleasure for all of us, I think. We gained some new insight, at least I did. So I hope if you have any other questions for those online, they can please send an email and contact us. We can probably answer the questions. And so hereby I want to close this workshop and see you back again sometime. Thank you.